Welcome back to another episode from Northwest Angling. First of all, I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas and wish everyone all the best for the new year. January the 4th, and as you can see, we're out on the rocks today, somewhere a little bit different than what I've been fishing local in the river. Getting sick and tired and fed up basically of trying to chase cod that just aren't even there in the river. So we've decided today to come out and have a go off the rocks to see if we can get ourselves some rays, bullus and potentially a conger eel a little bit later on. We're fishing it into darkness, fishing it down to low water. We got a bang on high tide, which is 12:30. Low water's around about 7:20 tonight. So we'll be fishing it a few hours into darkness. It's going to be a bit difficult and challenging today to land any sort of fish because there's a big swell on. There's a really big swell on. We're going to keep an eye on the forecast as well, because the forecast is suggesting that the country is going to be hit by snow later on this evening. We believe it's coming in around about 8 o'clock, so we'll be fishing till around about 7:30 maybe, but we'll definitely keep an eye on the weather. So yeah, excited for the year ahead. Lots of sessions planned. Going to take some trips, fish different marks. Main aim for this year is to get myself a taupe. I've never had a taupe. I've had baby ones out of the river, 2-3 pound, but I want to get myself a decent one this year. So that is my main target for this year. And of course, I've got the 20 pound conger hunt on the go as well. So they're the two challenges I'd like to achieve this year. So we've got 2 baits in the water. We've been here now for roughly about half an hour. We're just getting settled, getting our bearings, trying to figure out where's the best to fish from, etc. We're probably going to drop down a little bit. We're quite high up at the moment, just away from the swells, but we may potentially be able to drop down a ledge or so later on as the tide starts to drop. So yeah, first bait in the water. Let's see what we can do. We'll bring you back. Not sure if you can quite make it out on the video, but you can kind of see what sort of swells that we're dealing with today. It is going to be quite tricky landing a fish, but there's a couple of places where I could potentially just lift it up onto a ledge and then handball the fish up if needs be. There was a couple of others just on the point over there when I first got here, but they seem to be just chucking like lures or feathers or whatever it was, but they've disappeared now. And I know there's a couple of other fellas just around the corner there, a couple of cars in the car park. Popular venue, this one. It's a well-known mark. Probably guessed by the scenery. But yeah, it's pretty rough. It is pretty rough, certainly in the rock edge anyway. Out to sea is not too bad, but it's pretty treacherous down here. You just have to take our time, be careful. Stay as high up as we possibly can. We're probably around about, I don't know, 20, 30 foot up, I think, something like that. Well out the way of the swells. And yeah, just keep an eye on how conditions change. So the rigs and baits that we've got today, we've got a mixture of bait. We've got some squid. We've got some bluey. We've also got some mackerel, and we've also got a spider crab as well, which I'll potentially put on a little bit later on. Rigs, just simple pulley rigs, 80 pound snoods, 6.0 tamer with a 4.0 chinook on the back, and baits that we're going to be putting out probably around about, I don't know, 3-4 inches, maybe something like that. So I've got double squid on at the moment. and we're going to try a combination of baits really. I would really like to get a huss out today. I haven't had one for a while, to be honest. But any fish will be nice today, especially in these conditions with it being quite rough, as I say, at the water's edge. But it's just nice to get away from the Mersey for a change and, you know, have the first session of 2025. There's going to be a lot of fishing done on Anglesey this year. It is a beautiful place, one I love fishing and travelling to. So look out for those videos. I say the main target for this year will be a nice tope off the shore or off the rocks. There's a couple of beaches I'm going to try this year as well. Not far from here actually, and also down on the Limb Peninsula. And then obviously there's some rock marks around here as well, which throws up tope, and also again down the Limb Peninsula. So lots of sessions planned for 2025. I would like to get up to Scotland as well and have a go for a skate, but my main priority this year is a tope off the shore. So here we go. There's another bait ready to be launched out into the sea. If I can just sort that out. There we go. Nice big baits. Try and avoid the dogfish if we can. I mean, it wouldn't be a session on Anglesey if you didn't get a dogfish. But there we go. Big juicy squid and bluey bait. Hopefully for a nice huss. Weapons of choice for today's session, as I say, we're going big. We're going Creed, and we're also going with the compressor SS. So 2 beefy rods. Yeah, I mean, I've been using both of these side by side recently, and I've got to say, I'm favouring the Creed. I'm actually toying with the idea actually of getting rid of the SS and getting another Creed, so I've got a pair. Personally, for me, it's just it's a bit more user friendly for me, to be honest. It just feels a lot better in the hand as well, and you know, it's a fantastic rod. It really is. I feel like the compressor SS is probably just a little bit too stiff for me. So yeah, they're the weapons of choice. There we go. Just waiting for those tips to bend right over. Pen casting specials are the reel. Loaded with 25-pound Anova slick in the steel grey. It does also come in a high-vis red. This line, brilliant line. Been using it for a while now. Absolutely fantastic. But 2 compressor S, Fathom casting specials are the reel of choice today. Hold plenty of line them. Ideal for fishing off the rocks. That's okay, so a quick update. There's not much happening at the moment. I've had a couple of little tiny knocks, but other than that, no fish out so far. But we've dropped down a ledge now. Tide's dropped. It's on its way out, so we've managed to find a ledge a little bit lower. Found we were just fishing a little bit too high up. I felt like if it was getting if it did actually get a fish, a decent one, it would have been too much just to get it up the rock. So we've dropped down a ledge anyway. The swells have actually calmed down a little bit, but we've still got to keep an eye on it really. But yeah, keep plugging away. We've still got, I don't know, maybe 3.5, 4 hours of fishing left. Plenty of time. We're going to lose the light in around about an hour's time, so we'll have to be very careful. We're on a bit of a little tight patch here now, but it's comfortable. We're still way above the water, and yeah, it's actually quite sheltered where we are, to be honest. So it's just the swells that we've got to keep an eye on. So yeah, we're just watching the tide, watching the sea, seeing what it's doing and stuff like that. We're, you know, safety first as always. Yeah, so like I say, the sea is starting to flatten off a little bit, but we're still keeping an eye on it, keeping a lookout for those bigger waves, but it's definitely started to flatten off. Right, so we've lost the light now, and yeah, still not a lot happening. We've had a couple of bites, but it's just been dead. A couple of local lads that I know fished here today, and they just had a couple of whitings. So yeah, it's just been very, very tough, to be honest. So it's currently 5 o'clock now. We're probably going to give it another hour maximum, because just check the forecast, and I think that snow's potentially coming in around about 6:30. So we want to be off these rocks and heading back to the car before obviously that comes in. It's absolutely not worth the risk, especially now that we've lost the light. It was forecasting to snow around about 8:30, but the forecast obviously brought that forward. So we're keeping an eye on that now anyway. So these last two casts, I think, one's just gone out, going to put another one out, give it half an hour, 40 minutes, and then I think that is going to be us. So if something happens, we'll bring you back. But yeah, very, very quiet. Not the best to start of 2025, but it can only get better. So anyway, we'll bring you back anyway, let you know what's happening. Right, well, there we go. As you can see, we're back to the car. So that means the session is now over. We didn't want to risk it, to be honest. We were looking at the weather. We were going to fish it till low water, which was 7:20. But looking at the forecast, it was saying roughly around about 6:30 that it was due to snow. And we don't want to risk it. So we decided to call it early. And so we've got about an hour and 40 minute drive home. So hopefully we can beat the majority of the bad weather. I think we're going to hit it on the way home, but at least we're safe. So unfortunately, I've started 2025 the same way I ended 2024. And yeah, Paul O'Grady has featured on the show before, but it's becoming a bit of a theme this. So yeah, blankety blank. Yeah, I don't know, the fishing's just been terrible. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it, still getting out there, still giving it a go. And you know, bear with me because there will be fish. Just going through a bit of a spell at the moment. So anyway, like I said, wish everyone a happy new year. Stay safe over the next couple of days with the bad weather, and we'll see you again.